Hello. Thank you for joining me here. I don't know if it's YouTube or the app itself, but it's telling me that I might be suffering from huge complications. That's terrible. Not only that, but the table in which I set this camera phone on, I'm just realizing right now that it's very crooked. And people might not mind out there if anybody ever sees this broadcast. But I'm here to tell you that I mind. It's actually very distracting. So you caught me in a weird way right now, which I'm trying to fix that particular problem. It's taking place with my technology. And mind you, there you go. Mind you, I hope that technology increases with time. And it's only bolstered so that any of this might be able to be seen on the internet. I don't know that it is right now. I could just be talking to myself right now. That is the risk that I'm taking. Right now, it's a Friday evening, and hopefully, everybody in the world has something better to do right now than watch me do this. Broadcast is starting, lost connection, reconnecting, all sort of things. Now, earlier today, I conducted a little bit of a test. A little bit of a test to see if my technological capabilities were up to par. For whatever reason, they seem like they work. They did back when I started the test, and there's a video on my channel. You might be aware of it. It's called Test. I had a very cool guy with sunglasses in the title, and it worked amazing. In fact, the whole experience was spectacular. Right? I suffered from wild success earlier doing the test. Not only did I have 4 people who were watching me, which blows my mind. Right? And I'm here to tell you, it does blow my mind. I have no idea, and perhaps I'll never will, why people bother to watch me. Right? But they do. They tell me all sort of things. To include that they find my voice very soothing. I don't know why that is. A lot of people probably find it very annoying, and I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't really be the one to blame them. Find my voice soothing. Find the things that I talk about to be very appealing. I don't know. I'll have to take their word for it. But I want to start out this broadcast like I started off the other broadcast, which failed miserably. Didn't work. Probably did not get uploaded to YouTube at all. And saying that the test broadcast was actually wildly successful. Right? There's people watching it. I see that there's one person they're watching right now. All right. God bless you. I don't know. Apparently, you don't have nothing better to do. Neither do I. All right. But I was talking about my test. A vicious dog fight going on. I don't know if y'all hear the dog fight going on, but there was. All right. I was talking about my test broadcast, and if you're familiar, it was wildly successful, and in that there was 4 people watching. All right. From all around the world, by the way. All right. I don't mean to brag on myself, but I do. I do mean to brag on myself. People were watching from clear across the world. It was 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't know, hey, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, if I wanted to stop you, I couldn't. Right? Not only that, I took this dog for a walk. Y'all can't see the dog. I don't know that I can flip the camera and move it around so much during the broadcast because my technology is suffering real bad. Real bad. I don't even know if you can hear me right now. Thing is, whoever's watching, if you care to help me out, let me know if you can even hear me. Let me know if you can even hear me, because I have this microphone right here. Just bought it. Just bought it today. I'm using it. May not be working in the slightest. So you can give me a comment and say, hey, yeah, I can hear you, or no, I can't hear you at all. I mean, if you can't hear me, you don't know what I'm saying right now. All right. But hopefully you'll get the idea to tell me, hey, I can't hear what you're saying right now. All right, because like I said, my technology is suffering so bad. So bad. There was so much buffering. Doesn't seem to be buffering anymore. Doesn't seem to be buffering, but who knows? I don't know. All right, there's two people watching. Shout out to the second person. There's a second person watching. All right, just so y'all know, I'm not gonna repeat it over and over again. But for the two people who is watching right now, it's Philip. It's my man Philip. He says, "What's up, Troy?" Y'all can obviously see what Philip is writing, and even in the recording, YouTube is great that way now. All right, internet. It will even record the comments, so Philip will be immortalized on this particular broadcast and probably broadcast in the future. But what I was saying, and hopefully you can hear me. I assume that you can, all right, or you'd probably say something about it. I'm using a brand new mic. Bought it at a store called HEB. Bought it today. You probably never heard of HEB. Well, it's all right, Philip. We're gonna. Don't you even worry about how long you can stay, can't stay. Oh, thank you for letting me know. You can hear me. Thing is, there's just some certain things that we're going to discuss. And in actuality, this here is just a test, for later on. And we're going to work with the technology that I got. See if I can't make this I want to say a weekly thing. Truthfully, I do want to make it a weekly thing. A lot of people already understand how lazy that I can get. All right. Not only that, my schedule probably going to be changing up soon. More than likely, we're aiming towards the weekend. I know that today is a Friday. All right. For y'all that don't know out there, Fiesta begins in San Antonio, I believe, today. All right. A lot of people out there getting sloppy drunk. All right. Not me. Don't have that kind of money. All right. Nor do I care for that type of thing. I am, however, having a brew. I just thought I would tell you because I'll be sipping from it from time to time. And y'all might be wondering, just so you know, they don't pay me to say it, but it's Alamo Ale. It's Golden Ale. And it's off the wall delicious. All right. It's really hard to compete with it. All right. So I wanted to dive into matters because the thing is, I already tried to make a video earlier, just earlier, 9:30 at Central Standard Time. It failed miserably. It was doing all sort of buffering, all sort of technical difficulties, and that sort of thing is frustrating as heck, right? Because you start talking about things, and and it gets lost in the abyss, right? It gets lost in the matrix. It's very frustrating to see something like that happen, right? So, irregardless, Philip already seen me. All right, so I already understand that I am going off into the world, into the atmosphere. People can see me. So as quick as I can, we're gonna run through the various different topics that I have to talk about right now and stuff. Not only that, for whoever does join the room, if anybody happens to not be doing something better, which they probably should be on a Friday evening, feel free to interject. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you want to talk about. Type all sort of types in the comments and stuff. I'll try to read them. I'll try to read it and talk at the same time. Understand it's very difficult. If you see me doing this, that's me trying to read frantically what it is that you're saying. All right. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and check out what Philip is saying. He says, and you can read it for yourself. Just go ahead and read along. He says, I probably won't be here for long, but I'm checking in to let you know that I'll be definitely watching later if this gets recorded. Yeah, hopefully it does get recorded, but I can't guarantee that it will. Philip, I'm sorry about that. I know the test got recorded. I made a video at later on, and it didn't get recorded. So we'll see. We'll find out. Philip then says this. Yeah, What is up, YouTube? I've noticed a lot of these live streams have those problems. Here's the thing. A lot of people like to, Philip brought this up. A lot of people like to get onto YouTube. You already understand that. My channel is called The End of YouTube. I don't exactly have a huge respect for YouTube, and we might actually talk a little bit more about that, seeing as we're on the topic. But however, I do not think that you can blame YouTube in this particular situation. I don't believe it's their fault necessarily. It could be my faulty technology, and it most likely is. Not only that, the app that I'm on, it's called CameraFi or something. I don't know how you call it. Here, I'll read the comments in a second, but CameraFi, and perhaps it was messing up. It might not have anything to do with YouTube at all. I know we like to blame YouTube. I like to blame YouTube all the time, right? For everything, dude. Anything happens bad in my day, I'm like, freaking YouTube. All right. However, I don't think that they're to blame here. Just to read off, I think Philip is signing off, and that's quite all right. We got things to do. All right. He says, "Yeah, I'm dead right now." Philip's dead right now. That's no good. He says, "Went to sleep at 4 a.m., got up at 7. I'm out of it right now. I'm out of it." He says, "But I can say I don't have a lot of respect for YouTube either." Well, it's all right not to have respect for YouTube. In fact, I should already be off of YouTube by now. The thing is, my laziness has kept me on YouTube, and I mean to diversify off into other things such as BitChute, such as, I don't know, Minds.com or DTube. There's a lot of different other things. What kind of apps work with them in order to get live streams going, I don't know. I really don't know. But I have to look into it, all right? It's going to take a little bit of energy, and sometimes, like I said, I get kind of lazy. Philip says, "I'm still waiting for you to end it, Gerard. For you to end it. I don't know if you mean my life or YouTube." I'm assuming that you mean YouTube, Philip. To end YouTube, I don't know. I'm not really sure. The thing is, a lot of people have already made the jump for various reasons, and that YouTube obviously does not compensate. Let's just go ahead and get into the heart of the matter about YouTube. All right, I want to state very clearly for everybody out there on the internet, and especially on YouTube, because you're on right now. YouTube, just to let y'all know, is a pioneer of nothing at all. They've pioneered nothing. They changed nothing in the world at all. What I want to explain is, earlier this morning, I was listening to someone, and I don't know if y'all hear this guy a lot. His name is Semi Agog, spelled SEMIGOUG, something like that. Something like that. Semi Agog. Go ahead and look him up. He's very articulate. He's lots of times on with his friend, and they live stream in the split screen, and they talk about all sort of various things. Anyways, just to cut to the chase, Semi Agog was talking about how he was involved with a company who was actually developing long ago a system that was just like YouTube. In fact, what you have to know is that basically there were websites and things and forums that were YouTube. They already existed before YouTube came around. All right. YouTube, what happened with YouTube, just to be very basic, is they got the amount of funding that it was necessary for them to take off like a rocket. All right. Who funded them? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you that. I really don't know. But somebody funded them enough for them to take off like a rocket, such as a MySpace did, such as a Facebook did. Now, none of these were grassroots. All right, you have to understand that it took money to get them off the ground the way that it happened. Not only that, a lot of people already understand the way that YouTube caught the winds of success the way that they did in the early 2007 and things of this nature. I mean, way back when. The way that worked is, not only did they receive the amount of funding that it took that was necessary in order to ride that wave, but also what happened is they were paying people, such as myself, or not myself because I wasn't around back then, but they were paying people like myself who would get onto YouTube and start talking in a way that you'd never seen before, that you never witnessed on television, and it caught fire. People were just putting up viral videos. People were singing and dancing and just being themselves. It's called YouTube. They were just being themselves on the internet. A lot of people caught wind of that. They heard about that. They said, "Ooh, I like that. Oh, I want a piece of that." And so they started watching. Right? The reason, the reason that YouTube suffered from so much success is due to little people. Obviously, that was the whole point, right? The little people started putting up more content, more and more content, more and more content. Why? Because they were getting paid to do so. Right? I'm not saying anything that I don't think any of y'all know, but just to reiterate, this is how YouTube came to success, was through little people. Right? You already understand with television how it works is through advertisement dollars. All right, you watch the little shows on the television. The corporations know, well, we want to sell our product. We really, really want to sell our product. So we need to let people know about it. All right, how are we going to do that? Well, through the television. We're going to put our ads in between the little spots on the shows while people are watching their favorite shows. This is how it went back in the early 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s. They said people are watching their little shows. What we're going to do is put our ads on in the commercials, and they're going to buy our products. You know, they're going to see our products, they're going to like them, buy them. That's how television worked. Now, YouTube, like I said, pioneered nothing at all. They weren't the first people to do this, right? But they just caught that wave, right? Uh, Advertisers realized, dude, people are liking this YouTube. People are liking the forum of regular individuals going on, just saying what's on their mind, speaking their piece. All right, people really like it. All right, so we're gonna throw our ads on there, right? Because this is what people are watching. The audience for the TV has been dwindling and dwindling and dwindling. It continues to dwindle. Right, the audience for YouTube is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, and by all means, it's probably, in a sense, still growing. It's probably stagnant at this point. Now, the little rope-a-dope maneuver that YouTube went ahead and used is they stopped paying everybody. All right, and they've been doing this for, I don't know, a year, a couple of years now. Stopped paying everybody, all the little people. The point is where anybody who's even slightly popular, people who are out there who's popular, way more popular than myself, if they're saying the wrong thing, the politically incorrect thing, or the inappropriate thing, they do not get paid anymore at all. Advertisements still do run. YouTube still keeps getting that money, but YouTubers are not getting paid their fair share. Right? A lot of people think, well, why do YouTubers need to get paid? It's not why do YouTubers need to get paid. The question is, why does YouTube need to get paid? Right? Because they provide nothing. They're not content creators in any sense of the word. Why does YouTube get paid? And certainly it does get paid. Right? Meanwhile, they shortchange basically everybody. Everybody who I know, everybody who I'm subscribed to, absolutely does not get paid their fair share. Absolutely, they don't. You're talking about Diamond and Silk, obviously. You know, you're talking, of course, about InfoWars. You're talking about people so big as PewDiePie. PewDiePie is like number one or close to it on YouTube. I mean, I'm talking about 50 some odd million subscribers. If you're a corporation, you should be dying to have your ads anywhere near PewDiePie right now. Anywhere. You're talking about 54 million. You're talking about this dude will throw up a video and it'll get hundreds of thousands of views within minutes. Within the hour, he'll have hundreds of thousands of views. All right. You should want your ads right by PewDiePie. Thing is, we're not going to dive too much farther into it, but the thing is, what happens is YouTube and the like say, well, PewDiePie's content is not appropriate. It's just simply not appropriate, and so we can't pay him. It doesn't matter that PewDiePie gets millions upon millions of views. It doesn't matter that forums such as CNN and all those channels on the television, their views are dwindling and dwindling and dwindling. They can't stop, won't stop dwindling. Does not even matter. Yet still, they still get money for advertisements somehow. PewDiePie, however, most of his stuff gets demonetized. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. All right. I think it's very anti-free speech, and there's many different factors that go into that. All right. We don't have time to discuss all the various different factors that go into why is YouTube very anti-free speech. But I do want to mention that as far as YouTube goes, as far as mines go, as far as DTube, BitChute, and the rest that are coming up, they're organically coming up, and chances are one of these forums is going to take the place of YouTube before long. What I had to explain is the very format is not well suited for free speech, right? And that YouTube has to be policed. And the thing is, I can't tell you that YouTube should not be policed. When there's certain kind of content that might be extremely illegal that could be placed up on YouTube, you understand that, well, of course, that would have to be taken down from YouTube, right? That's going to cause problems. A certain kind of content that really you should not put on YouTube. It really should not be allowed, all right? But we're not talking about speech necessarily. We're talking about different sort of pornographies, different things about violence directed towards individuals and things of this nature that probably shouldn't be allowed because it's very dangerous. Right? It's not even covered by free speech. Thing is, YouTube has to be policed, and in that sense, so does BitChute, so does DTube, so does Minds.com and Facebook and all the rest. They do have to be policed. There is no getting around that, right? What I mean to say is this. There probably will be, and there definitely should be, a forum that just caters to people speaking. You understand that YouTube is a forum in which you can watch all sort of things. You can watch little kitty cats play around. You can watch all sort of things, no matter whatever people want to put on. All right? And so all sort of gruesome stuff could be put on, and it does need to be taken down. It should be taken down, probably, all right? However, there probably should be a forum that just caters to what I'm doing right here, right now. A lot of people do it. What PewDiePie does, in which, it's just people speaking their mind, perhaps using some humor in order to discuss current events and what's going on in our society openly. Not only that, there needs to be different modes of financial you know what I'm saying? I can't remember the word, but where people get paid, right? Compensation, right? There does need to be financial compensation for people's time and energy, right? And basically, what that has to amount to, it's either number one, things like Patreon, which has proven itself to be very anti-free speech, and also more importantly, direct websites. Right? And a lot of people are doing this now. Many people, and I'm definitely starting to look into, like, just to give an example, Tommy Sotomayor. He's been kicked off left and right off of YouTube. All right, why? For trying to make a difference, for saying things that are unpopular. Tommy Sotomayor. It's gotten to the point where if you want to make sure Tommy continues to do what he does, you cannot rely on YouTube. It's not even possible anymore. YouTube is going to refuse to pay him. Not only that, YouTube is going to do everything in their power to ban him. All right, irregardless. Doesn't matter how many views he gets. Doesn't matter how many subscribers he gets. We're at a point now that you have to go directly to his website and subscribe and pay him some money in order for him to keep the lights on. Not only that, in order for him to live comfortably and to be able to deliver to you all the content that you like. Because love him or hate him, Tommy Sotomayor many times gives you content that you can hardly find anywhere else, right? And that says he is crucial. So this goes across the board. You know, PewDiePie, one of the biggest here on YouTube, he has to make his merchandising, and I believe there's Patreon and all sort of other things. He has to make his money on the side, right? Just give another example: the Hodge twins, very popular duo, brothers who are twins. You have to go to Hodge Twins TV and subscribe. And the thing is, it's $2.99, I believe, a month, all right, which is dang near for free. And even with that small contribution that can be made to the Hodge twins, I mean, $2.99 a month, that's nothing. Even that can replace YouTube. YouTube is getting left in the dust as we speak. It's actually been getting left in the dust a long, long time ago. People are just exploiting YouTube now at this point. People are basically daring YouTube to kick them off, and YouTube's going to kick them off before long, right? Because that's what YouTube means to do. YouTube's no longer looking for success, right? But meanwhile, I just wanted to say that YouTube is not to blame for everything. You know, people would tend to jump to conclusions and say, "Oh, YouTube is sabotaging us and this and that." YouTube does not even have the capabilities of keeping an eye on all of us. There's a shout out to Angela. She just joined the room. What is going on? I've been having all sort of technical difficulties. I've been seeing that sometimes the broadcast's been buffering this and that. Let me know if you're experiencing any sort of difficulties. If you're seeing any sort of buffering, if you can't hear what I'm saying, this and that, write me a comment, whatever you like, shout it out, and I'll try to keep up with it. We're talking about YouTube. We're talking about formats such as YouTube. We're talking about content creators and how they need to get paid. Obviously, everybody needs to get paid, right? Time is money. You can't expect your favorite YouTube content creators to make what they make for you for free. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about me. I mean, the thing is, what I do is very easy. What other people do, not so much. There's people out there that's putting mad energy and time into what they do. They're bringing all sort of viewership to YouTube. YouTube does not care at all. They're going to continue to not pay these people. And meanwhile, all the money that's not being paid to all the content creators, YouTube is stuffing in their back pockets, laughing about it. Meanwhile, they're hanging themselves. Meanwhile, it doesn't matter because people have told them, look, you're hanging yourself, and they don't care. They're going to keep doing it. It really doesn't matter to them. Right? But anyways, that's how money works and stuff, y'all. I mean, people need money, right? And I know I'm not going back to television. You know what I mean? There used to be, way back in my childhood, I used to watch television, and I just can't even stand it no more, you know what I'm saying? But I do like to see people. I do like to hear things and hear the news and stuff like that. The internet is a wonderful place for that sort of thing. Now we're going to jump off to different topics. Meanwhile, Angela, you know, if there's a certain topic, or anybody out there who joins the room, if there's a certain topic that you would like to talk about, you'd like to discuss, been on your mind recently, go ahead and shout it out, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that probably. We'll see how long we do this broadcast. But in the meantime, I brought it up earlier. I brought it up during the test, the 10-minute test video that I did earlier. one of the things I brought up was Bill Cosby. All right, I don't know if y'all seen that. I have not seen very much, but I have heard through the grapevine that Bill Cosby was, in fact, after what years of going through this litigation, Bill Cosby was finally found guilty in court of law. I don't know what's the evidence that they seen that swayed the jury to find him guilty, but they did. Found him guilty. The thing is now, what we have now, if I understand correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, what we have now is a situation in which Bill Cosby, he's out on bail right now until sentencing, and I don't know when sentencing is. I'm gonna have to look into it, unless y'all know out there. I don't know when sentencing is, but in the meantime, he'll not be in jail while awaiting sentencing, which is very peculiar. The thing is, I don't know exactly how guilty Bill Cosby is, and we're going to discuss that briefly in a second. Don't get offended, all right? Don't get offended. We're going to discuss that. How guilty Bill Cosby is, I don't know exactly. I want to see the evidence. I'm a big proponent of evidence. I haven't seen all the evidence that the jury has seen, obviously. Right? The jury that did convict him to be guilty, that did happen. Right? But I do want to talk about, it's kind of funny and odd and weird and typical that, here's a man who supposedly had sexually harmed not only one or two females, but a great many females, drugged them, stuff like this. It just goes to show you how flawed our legal system is. That a person who has been found guilty of doing these things can simply roam around in public and just, obviously he can't go out in public, which is that's also weird and ironic. Of course Bill Cosby can't go out in public because he will get mobbed now. Absolutely. In fact, he's probably going to get mobbed. He's probably been mobbed for a long, long time already, just because of his popularity and his stature. But he's on basically OJ status for the most part when it comes to walking around. I don't think that he can do it. But he can chill out at his house until sentencing. That's very peculiar. Meanwhile, just touch on it just a little bit. We have a boy named Nicholas Curtis who's in jail, and he's going to be in jail for, I don't know, maybe it'll take years and years and years and years before we get to his trial. We're going to discuss that probably in a second. All right. But Bill Cosby, that's an interesting thing. I'm going to go ahead and read Angela's comments right now. All right. And of course, you can read along with me. I want to find out what Angela is thinking about this. It says, how do you feel about the verdict? I don't know how I feel, Angela. I really don't know. Angela says, I heard over 50. I think she's referring to 50 ladies. 50 ladies. I don't know if she means 50 ladies or 50 years in jail. I don't know. Obviously, 50 years probably ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? He's an old man. 50 ladies. That's what I heard too. There's a great many number of ladies. Angela says, yes, he will indeed, and I don't know what she is in reference, what's that in reference to. She says, I don't know how to take it yet. I don't know how to take it either, but I will tell you this. The Cosby Show, as of just the other day, is absolutely still in syndication. And isn't that peculiar? Like, everything is peculiar about this case, whether you like it or not, whether you feel like Bill Cosby is guilty or not. None of that matters. Everything is absolutely peculiar about this case. You know what I mean? Still very much in syndication. Excuse me. Everything is very peculiar. But here's what I want to talk about the most, and interrupt me if there's other details that you want to talk about in regards to Bill Cosby and this whole situation. But something that I've brought up before on this channel, and I think it's the most crucial factor to this whole situation, is Bill Cosby is alleged to have done something very nefarious in a sense. Like, if you are slipping roofies into a lady's drink and she's passing out and you're having relations with her, obviously that's a sincere crime that you're doing. Right? I don't know if anybody can argue against that. On the other end of the spectrum, I can't believe that nobody else knows. I can't believe that not everybody knows that there are countless females, and I'm not victim blaming anybody. I'm not a proponent of rape, right? Obviously, but there are countless females out there who absolutely, take it how you want, will take drugs, mind-altering drugs, and willingly have relations with all sort of celebrity status type people, athletes, entertainers, politicians, this and that. They absolutely will do it. That's the thing. The list can go on and on and on and on and on and on. We don't have enough time to run through the unending list of celebrities who experience this sort of thing on a weekly basis, right? In which females willingly take the pills, this and that. They want to be on mind-altered drugs in order to have relations with these celebrities. This happens all the time. Now, if a lady, just to give you a situation, you already know, if a lady were to take a pill or crush it up and snort it up or whatever it is they do, have relations with a celebrity, then turn around and say, oh, I didn't mean for that to happen. Oh, he did that to me. I don't know. I've been raped. You understand that basically every celebrity that you know, 90% of them can be found guilty just like a Bill Cosby today. Or at least taken to trial and raked over the coals. I'm talking about if you listen to music, 80%, 90% of the people who you listen to can immediately be taken to court right now, right? And not only right now, maybe decades from now, while they're old and withered, such as a Bill Cosby, maybe then it'll be brought to light. You know what I'm saying? And maybe then the lady will decide, oh man, I've been raped, and so, you go to jail. How about that? Every single celebrity, you might as well assume every celebrity, because that is the culture. And so that is the factor that I tend to dwell upon, and that is a very extreme precedent that's being set right now. Every last rapper that you know should be watching this situation like a hawk. Like every NBA star that you know, NFL, the list goes on and on. There's not to mention that half of them are closet homos. To be honest with you, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm saying come out of the closet. Y'all are all gay, and that's cool. But please be straightforward. I think it's a good idea. But the others who are not, the thing is, gay or straight or who knows, y'all can all be taken to court. It is just a matter of time. And so, suffice it to say, I don't live that lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle that's for me, as far as I don't go around having relations with people, right? This does not apply to me. But if you're on celebrity status right now, you need to be speaking out right now. And that's what's funny and ironic, is that the celebrities who I'm talking about right now are sitting, in their mansions and stuff, shutting the hell up All right, try not to say a mumbling word. All right, they need to talk right now as practically as they can. Right, but that ain't happening. The precedent is being set right now. So we'll find out where that leads. Angela says this. She says, yes, definitely. And I'm not sure what she's talking about. She says, well, I'm so excited. I finally caught you live. Well, the thing is, I haven't been doing a live feed for, quite some time. It's been a long time since I've done it. She said, you made my night. That's interesting. I already mentioned, shoot, man, Angela, or for anybody who happens to stumble in tonight, I've already had a number of viewers earlier in the earlier broadcast. I'd like to thank you and say that, I very much appreciate you for coming out and participating. But at the same time, it is a Friday night, and man, you should be doing something that's more exciting than this. I promise you. Me personally, I don't do things necessarily. I stay in. But that's just what I do. So I figured I might as well throw on a live feed, talk about some things that need to be talked about. And like I said, feel free, throw out a topic. We're going to go all off the dome right now. It really don't matter. It really don't matter. I'll touch on anything if you want. It's like, not in a Bill Cosby sense, but I will talk about whatever. But as we're on the subject of sexual misconduct and sexual assault, things of this nature, while we're on the topic of ambiguity and dangerous precedents being set, I do want to speak about an article that I saw last night. And I was going to make a video about it. In fact, I did make a video about it, but it got terribly messed up. I want to touch upon it because I feel like it has a lot to do with what we're talking about right now in reference to Bill Cosby and ambiguity and people saying this and that. He said, she said, oh, now it's a problem. Oh, now it's a problem. While we all know about this culture of people getting on different various drugs in order to do whatever, sexual relations. That's what they like to do. Right? And I've lived that life before. Long time ago. Don't do it anymore. Right? But while we're on that topic, I want to tell you about this article that I read. And you might have seen something about it. I don't know if you're familiar. But it was an article that was written about, mind you, probably the most unfunny person in the world. Right? And I know that some people like her and stuff like this. Be offended if you want to be. Probably the most unfunny person I've ever seen in my life. And her name almost escaped me. Amy Schumer. Thing is, her name almost escaped me because of the fact that she's not funny in the least. And the thing is, I'll give credit where credit is due. Amy Schumer used to be kind of funny. Kind of in a way that Sarah Silverman used to be kind of funny. So she did. I'll give her credit. She really did. I'm not saying that she wasn't. Amy Schumer, you're gonna have to look her up. She's a niece or a cousin to good old Chucky Schumer, right? But Amy Schumer is a darling to what's called the left, which is a religious cult of people. Well, dang, I'm not going to repeat what Angela just said. Of course, you can read it at your leisure. Anyways, Amy Schumer is wildly unfunny. And that's the thing about it. The left, which is a religious cult now, the thing is, the cult in which I'm referring to when I call it the left, that does not include all people who are left-leaning, not in the least. Like when I'm talking about a Philip DeFranco, he's not in this religious cult that I'm talking about. But there is a religious cult, right? You can find it mostly in Hollywood. You can find it mostly in Washington, D.C. You can find it mostly in Silicon Valley. And you can find it mostly with very ugly, physically ugly and unattractive people all across this nation. All right? It's called the left. Right? Amy Schumer is a darling to the left. They find her absolutely breathtakingly hilarious. I don't know why. they do. But they do. All right. Amy Schumer, the article that I was reading about was from Jezebel.com. Angela says she tries way too hard. She really does. In fact, if she does steal people's jokes, I have seen it. And she tries very hard to be just disgusting, which is something that it's like, this is, I mean, to be frank, to be brief, men do not look for the most disgusting lady ever in order to treat her good. Right? So that's what she tries extremely hard to be absolutely filthy and disgusting. Right? Some people are naturally, and it's kind of funny, filthy and disgusting. Some people really do and pull it off good. Right? I can't think of any names right now, but there have been females who've done it very well. Right? Sarah Silverman used to do it quite well. She does not anymore, not at all. Right? But Amy Schumer, she tries very hard to be disgusting, which is something that this religious cult, the left, adores. Right? So, anyways, to get into the meat and potatoes of the article that I read about, it was on Jezebel.com. Now, obviously, if you're a publication called Jezebel, you're trying to have some certain sense of legitimacy that only certain people will understand. Right? There was an article written by a guy by the name of Bobby Finger, and I wish I was making that up. You can look it up and Google it if you really want to. The article is written by a guy named Bobby Finger, probably the worst name I ever heard in my life. And you already know what he looks like. You don't even have to, you already can assume. So you see his little picture there by the article. And he was writing about some stuff that's not even news, all right, because he has all the time in the day to write about nothing. He was writing about an interview that he saw, which anybody could see on television and on the internet, that took place with Amy Schumer and Oprah Winfrey. This apparently happened recently. Thankfully, to Bobby Finger, I found out about it because otherwise I probably would have never heard about it nor cared at all in the least. But basically, just to sum it up, if you haven't heard about it, Amy Schumer sits down with Oprah Winfrey and they discuss a myriad of things, I'm sure. But the article touches upon the time that Amy Schumer lost her virginity, and I'm sorry, but it's going to get gross. All right, so be warned, it's going to get gross. Amy Schumer shared, I guess, in great detail the time in which she lost her virginity. Now, everything's going to get quite absurd. You're gonna start to understand just how absurd. Amy Schumer, and this was obviously decades and decades and decades ago, lost her virginity. All right, and I don't know all the details, but I'm sure she'll give you all the details if you want to find out. Amy Schumer lost her virginity in what she alleges to be a rape. Now, before we go any further, there's not only young girls, but also young boys out there who have been raped before. I believe that all their voices need to be heard. I believe that justice needs to be had for these people because that's terrible. All right, that's unspeakable. The fact is, not only has it happened to countless people already, but it's happening today. All right, people are losing their virginity, getting raped. Right, virginity or not, people getting raped is terrible, and it's not just women. All right, women need justice, but it's also men and young boys as well. It's also little tiny children getting raped, and it's of the most crucial nature. So anyways, this is a topic that Amy Schumer likes to make jokes about because she is so very disgusting, right? She's talking about losing her virginity to her boyfriend via a rape. Now, it's what she describes in her own words as a gray area rape. Right, and this is terminology that I'm sure that you never even heard before. It is horrible. I don't know if you heard about it already, Angela, but it's going to get more horrible. Right? She describes the incident as what she lovingly refers to as gray area rape, or to shorten it up just for laughs and giggles, she refers to it as grape because it's funny. It's just funny to her. She describes losing her virginity by being raped. By who? Her boyfriend. Right? Here's a situation in which obviously Amy Schumer is lying completely, a bald-faced lie to everybody, to include especially Oprah Winfrey, who gobbled it up like Thanksgiving Day dinner. She said, I lost my virginity to my boyfriend who raped me while I was asleep. So, she couldn't consent, obviously, because she was asleep. Now, she didn't, as far as I know, get into great detail of how this exactly happened. Now, it can only happen really one of two ways. Right? There's hardly any three ways about it. Either number one, Amy Schumer got so completely sloppy, passed out drunk, or on drugs, popping all sort of pills. Either that happened and her body went comatose, and then her boyfriend at the time proceeded in having relations with her. All right, either that happened, which she did not mention it at all. She didn't say that she was drunk, or as far as I know, she wasn't talking about being passed out drunk. Either that happened, or she merely fell asleep in the presence of her boyfriend, and her boyfriend decided, well, it's time to have relations now, and he did that. Here's the thing, it's obvious, it's completely, amazingly obvious that Amy Schumer is lying, right? Obviously, because for all the ladies out there who might wind up watching this video or partaking, if you ever had relations before, if you ever had some relations before, you know that that's impossible, right? How can you be a virgin? As painful as the first time it is for most ladies, and sleep through being raped. How is that possible? How is that anywhere at all even close to possible? It's not possible, right? You're not going to sleep through it. In every single way, is it obvious that Amy Schumer is lying about what she's alleging that her boyfriend did. Not only that, it gets more absurd. It gets even more absurd because after Amy wakes up, I guess the next day and realizes, well, I've been raped. What she does is she continues to date her rapist. She continues to date him, and later on has consensual sex with him a number of times, right? Which would be wildly irresponsible, would it not? Right? Basically, it'd be catering to a rapist. So she admits that she catered to a rapist and indeed had all sort of consensual relations with the rapist after the fact. Not only that, she mentions to Oprah Winfrey, just to sum it up, that because she's a lady, and she does in fact imply that only ladies get raped in the world, and only men do the raping. All right, she does imply that sick nonsense. But she says, well, because I'm a lady and ladies are held down, of course I couldn't get angry, because ladies can't get angry, because then we'll be dismissed and nobody will listen to us. They only listen to men if they're angry, but not ladies, because we're lower than dirt, right? Nobody listens to us. Is what Amy Schumer said, basically. That's what her words, basically. Right? So instead of getting angry at her rapist, she continued to date her rapist and have relations with him for an extended period of time. And then later on, decades and decades later, she thought she would call him out about it while not using his name, because, of course, we don't want to get him off the streets or anything like that. She does not mention the name, obviously, because she's absolutely lying. Right? And Oprah does not call her out, obviously. All right, so that's what happened. And that's the end of it. Just to sum it up, basically, what Amy Schumer's sentiment was is that all men are rapists, and there are no women who are rapists, and young boys and men absolutely do not get raped ever, and women are absolutely held down and raped, and that's just how our culture works. Basically, was her sentiment. And she also went on to say certain things like all men are basically are rapists, and then, unless you draw a hard line for them to tell them what is and isn't rape, men naturally don't understand when they're raping people. They wouldn't know unless you tell them and draw them a picture and show them, listen, you understand that when people are asleep, don't rape them. Men wouldn't know. They just wouldn't know. There's no way of knowing unless Amy Schumer comes out and tells people, hey, listen, don't have sex with people who are asleep. There's no way that men would know. She says all sort of wild things. I mean, it really blew my mind. It really blew my mind. But this is a religious cult that she's taking part in. It's sick and it's twisted. It's one where they cater to rapists. Not only do they cater to rapists, but they will accuse the entire rest of the world of raping them at the same time. All right, and I mean, I just wanted to add that on top of the whole Bill Cosby thing, because rape, literally, the lines are being blurred to the point where can't nobody tell. Can't nobody tell. All right. Obviously, anybody with any kind of sense would know Amy Schumer is a damn liar. In fact, she probably needs to go to jail for what she's saying, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I mean, because there has to be a crime against what it is that I mean, if she's going to continue with this awkward propaganda, you can at least arrest her for aiding and abetting a rapist. I mean, she literally is admitting to it, right? So, anyways, I thought I would bring that up, but of course, there's other stuff that we could talk about before we get on out of here and stuff. We've been here for an hour. I don't know if we might make it 2. I don't know. There's other stuff that I wanted to talk about as we, kind of settle in a little bit more. Think about it. I kind of got, what I'm saying? Amy Schumer kind of puts me off on a tangent, all right? I mean, honestly, it's like, dude, I mean, just mind blown, mind numbing, all right? Completely unfunny, absolutely disgusting and filthy. And yet, still, somebody's paying her money to do what she's doing. Angela says he wouldn't know, or a mental institution. Yeah, I mean, maybe a mental institution. That's the thing about it. I don't think there's any curing it. The problem is that not only, see, the thing is, Amy Schumer should be a babbling lady on the side of the road, a homeless lady, but she's not. You know what I mean? Because she's being well funded, right? And she just happens to have family all up in the government and stuff like this. So that's not really a coincidence. She's always talking about, being brushed to the side, this and that, people abusing her. It's like, dude, why don't you holler at your kinfolk in the government and stuff like that? You're not going to do that, right? It's just what it is. And before we get off of that topic, another thing that I heard about just recently, I don't know if y'all have heard about it. It's an actual cult, just in the way that we're talking about the left, which is a cult. It's an offshoot of this cult, and it's called Nexium, something like that. I don't know if y'all heard about it. I mean, it's semi-viral. It's called Nexium, this little cult. And this little cult was ran by some guy named Ranieri or something like that. Revenieri or something like that. You could probably look it up. It's called Nexium, but the cult was spelled all weird. I don't even know how to spell it to you. It's called Nexium, but it was spelled with a V. It was spelled like NXIVM or something like that. There's a television show called Small Town or Smallville or something. It's about Superman or something like that, dude. I really don't know. But it was a popular television program that had an actress on it. And she's being alleged to have very much participated in this sexual cult. That's ran by this Ranieri guy, right? And all of this is kind of getting judged up now. People are finding out all sort of weird things, such as obviously the way that usually happens. The cult leader was definitely having sexual relations with all sort of children. People being put into bondage and stuff like this, being sexually abused all over the place. It's very much a window into how different factions of Hollywood work in general. You know what I'm saying? Different factions that exist in Hollywood, like I said, Washington, D.C., Silicon Valley. I mean, take your pick. This is how it works. And they want to tell you that you're a bad person. All right? So I don't know if they're going to convince you, but they got a lot of convincing to do on my end. I didn't want the whole entire broadcast to be dedicated to rapes necessarily. Trying to remember the other things that I wanted to talk about. Like, for example, another thing that comes to my mind is, and it did make the internet basically melt down over the past couple of days, is Kanye West. Kanye West, I got this damn dog barking at me. Kanye West did make Twitter melt down and all sort of the internet really fall apart over the past couple of days. And it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting the times that we live in. Right? And the fact is, people can absolutely lose their mind. It's 2018. When I'm talking about this religious cult called the left, they can absolutely lose their ever-loving minds because Kanye West says that he likes the president of the United States of America. Talk about the tribulation a lot here. I mean, did you ever think that you'd get to that point? People are saying, you already seen it. It went super extra viral. All right, people were saying that Kanye West had lost his mind right now. All it took was him saying, I appreciate the president of the United States of America, duly elected. I think he's cool and I love him. And so all sort of people are jumping off his bandwagon and this and that. You've already seen probably concerts in which his whole audience is booing him. All right. They also are head over heels in love with this cult that's called the left. All right. And mind you, human beings work off of faith regardless. So everybody who, for example, hates God or hates religion in general, they still adhere to religion. They're just too mind-boggled to understand that they are in a cult. You understand that most people in a cult do not know that they're in a cult, and that's how it works. They're convincing themselves that they're not. So Kanye said, I like the president. I like not being a victim all the time, and I like going out and doing things and making something of myself. To which a lot of his fans decided to jump off his bandwagon. Basically, is what happened. Right. What's interesting to note about that is certainly that did happen. Certainly, Kanye West has been losing lots and lots of fans, but what's also very interesting to note as in regards to the actual numbers that are taking place here in America and worldwide is that Kanye West stands to gain all sort of untold numbers of fans right now because of what he's doing. In fact, I would tell you like this right now. Kanye West, next time he drops an album, that most certainly will be his most widely bought album to date. Period. I mean, you could put all sort of money on it. It absolutely will be. The thing is, if he dared to drop a dual, like an album, a collaborative album with Lil Wayne, that album, I put everything that I love on it. That album would be the the most widely bought album of all time. Period. And that'll just go to show you the numbers that we're dealing with. It's also the people in this country who are tired of it. You gotta understand. There's people on the left. There's people on the right. There's people in the center. There's people on the extreme left and the extreme right. All right, and that's the extreme minority. People who are on the extremes of both of these sides of this invalid paradigm. All right, they're the extreme minority. Most people are in the center. In fact, if you walk down the street, most people will tell you, I would say 90-95% of people will tell you, I don't know about politics. I don't want to know about politics. I have no interest in knowing about any of that garbage, dude. That's what most people will tell you, right? That's the majority of people who live in America, and love it or hate it, it really doesn't matter. Those people are becoming more and more as the days go by, more and more tired of being told that they're victims all day. I mean, it's disillusionment, you know? They can't be told anymore. I mean, we've been told all throughout my childhood, all throughout the past couple generations, certain people are victims, and they're always victims. They're basically inferior. People are tired of that. People are tired of being told, "Oh, I'm inferior," and the person sitting right by me, they're to blame. It doesn't make any sense. You know, say the religious cult that is the left absolutely concentrates on the color of people's skin tone all day. That's the only thing that they care about. Meanwhile, we live in a nation, whether you want to call it a melting pot, whether or not you want to call it a salad bowl, really doesn't matter. We have every last race and color and creed of people who live here, dude. And it does not matter what color people you're talking about, you're going to find people who have nothing. And the same exact color of skin people you're going to find have billions of dollars. All right? It really is up to you. And so, with that in mind, people are tired of being told, the white man is holding you down, this and that, and you should feel oppressed, you should feel like a victim. People don't have time for that no more. We're tired of being victims all day. And I don't know if you want to call them black, I don't know if you want to call them dark skinned, I don't know what you want to call them, but there's so many people out there who's tired of the propaganda, dude. They're tired of it. And so when you say Kanye West, because he endorses the president of the United States, he thereby should be put in prison. He thereby is a kook and a mental case. What you're gonna make happen is people are gonna start buying his album just to stick it in your face. All right, people even more so than it already is. People are just gonna start wearing that hat just because. They're gonna start wearing the MAGA hat just because, to see if you'll do anything. And no, you won't do anything. You ain't gonna say nothing, right? You're gonna see that hat being bought more now. You're gonna see Kanye West's album. You're gonna be seeing anybody who says, "Listen, I'm no longer a victim. You can't stop me. In fact, I'm gonna climb to the top, and I'm gonna shove it in your face. And it doesn't matter what color I am. And you're gonna like it or hate it, and it does not matter." You're gonna find a resurgence of that. All right, it is coming up, and I want to discuss something pretty serious in a second. All right, in dealing with this, because like I said, people are sick and tired of it. Most people, like I said, in this country and across the world, if they don't have to concentrate on politics, they won't. They don't care. All right, they just want to live their life. They just want to be able to get what they can possibly get and perhaps be happy with it. All right, so those people are going to rebel. Those people have been rebelling. Those people are going to continue to rebel. I mean, just to be real brief, when it comes to the generation, it's called the millennials. If you're going to refer to them as that, the millennials, they've been indoctrinated to a certain extent to apologize for every last thing that they do, regardless. All right, you probably know people like that who are apologizing every single day for anything that they do, always apologizing. It's never been the case, really, throughout American history, especially Texas history. People don't apologize in the way that millennials apologize for absolutely everything. When you skip down to Generation Z, for example, which is already coming up through the ranks, you're going to have a generation who apologizes for nothing. They're tired of it. All right. They've been told, oh man, slavery, oh, it's kept you down, Jim Crow laws and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they live in a nation in which all they have to do is look outside, look around them, and see that it does not matter at all. They see every last different color of people all around them. Right? There's no way that they can continue to buy into your lies. Right? And I want to mention, just to be real brief, for example, and it's going pretty viral. If you haven't seen it, I do suggest that you see it. Diamond and Silk. You may or may not know about them. They're real popular. They've been popular for a while, ever since the election, midway through the election. A lot of people have known Diamond and Silk, whether or not you love them or hate them. I absolutely adore them. I've adored them since the second I've seen them. Diamond and Silk. They've been reaching levels that I don't think that they ever thought that they would see. I don't think they ever dreamt that they would see the levels of success that they've seen. I don't think anybody ever dreamt it. But only just recently, I think yesterday, um, these two plain, everyday, ordinary ladies who only want success for themselves and the people around them, they made their way up in front of Congress and wrecked our fools. I mean, absolutely wrecked our fools. You can imagine that anybody can go up in front of Congress. Like me, myself personally, I might go up in front of Congress and they start asking me questions and I might stutter and I might do this and that and I might not know exactly what to say. Diamond and Silk went up in front of Congress and wrecked shop. All right. They couldn't have done any better than they did. I mean, they handled business like business had hardly ever been handled before. Right? And that's a very sincere problem, because here's the thing. People cannot. Facebook has been trying to restrict them. YouTube has been trying to restrict them. There's been all sort of people on the left who have been trying to hold Diamond and Silk back. You can't hold them back. All right, they are unstoppable. They will get at you. They will get at you, and they'll throw the plain and simple truth right up in your face, and that's what they've been doing. Right, all the way up until the steps of Congress, all the way up into the building, all the way up under oath, just giving it to you how it is, right up in your face. And yes, indeed, they have dark skin. There ain't nothing you can do to stop them. They can't be stopped, won't be stopped. All right. What I want to explain is nobody should dare lay a finger on Diamond and Silk ever. All right, because I don't care who you are. Your whole best thing about it. I'm not personally threatening anybody. If anybody were to ever lay a finger on Diamond and Silk, what I'm here to tell you right now is their whole entire seed would be wiped off the earth. Period. Right? This is how powerful a Diamond and Silk is right now. Right? You cannot stop them. Nobody. I know that nobody's even thinking about it. Nobody could possibly. I don't care if you're Hillary Clinton. Ain't nothing you can do to Diamond and Silk right now. They're unstoppable. They're untouchable. Right? But what I want to explain is you have that happening. You have Diamond and Silk paving the way. You have Kanye West adding another blow. You had this lady who I'd seen before she was making the waves that she's making right now, a lady by the name of Candace Owens. You see her going stupid viral. I know a number of different people who have dark skin, who's on the internet right now, absolutely laying the left out flat right now. All right. There's nothing the left can do, is what I'm here to tell you. Now, in regards to success, it's extremely successful. It's extremely successful. Like I'm here to tell you, the left has nothing anymore. They're out of ammunition. There's nothing that they can do anymore. Because you have Kanye doing what he's done, Diamond and Silk, Candace Owens, the list goes on and on, all these smaller names. You got Chance the Rapper saying the things that he was saying. You have all sorts of people, and people been saying, people with dark skin have been saying this. But it's a snowball effect. What you've seen already in the past couple of days is only the beginning. All right. Once people see, oh, Kanye can do it. Oh, Diamond and Silk can do it. Oh, Candace Owens can do it. Oh, this and that other person can do it. All these people, they all have my skin color and stuff. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I'll do it now. Maybe I'll speak out. Maybe I'm not a victim anymore. Maybe people can't hold me down. Maybe I live in America and that's the land of opportunity. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and take it by the reins and stuff. Maybe nobody can stop me if I just speak my mind. All right. They've caused a wildfire that the left cannot put out. Now, here's what I want to discuss that's even more serious. This has been a game of chess being played behind the scenes. Like I said, you got people who's in this cult that's called the left. Most of the people, the great majority of those people, are mentally brain dead or spiritually dead. Right? They're simply followers of a cult. It wouldn't matter what cult it's in. They're meant to follow cults. All right? These people. Now, there's people who are controlling them. They're controllers. They're handlers, if you will. I.e. a Hillary Clinton, but the list goes on and on. Most of Washington, D.C. Right? Those are the people who control the folks on the left. People in Silicon Valley, they control the people on the left. Right? Those are their minions and stuff like this. They realize the battle is over. They're done. They have no more ammunition. There's nothing that they can say anymore to convince people to see where they're coming from. They're wild. They're wild, unthinkable failures. All right. It's 2018. It's April 27th, dude. They have nothing left. And I want to bring that up, and I want to stress that they have nothing left. All right? Who are they going to bring out? Who? Rosie O'Donnell? Who are they going to bring out? Kathy Griffin? Talk about it. What's her name? Ashley Judd. Who are they going to bring out? They have nobody. They have nothing. Who? Hillary Clinton? Who do they have? Bernie Sanders? Who do they have? All right? Like them, love him or hate him, Bernie Sanders, I know a lot of people were supporting Bernie Sanders. He laid down like a little baby boy in front of Hillary Clinton, all right? So if that's who you wanted to be president, I'm sorry. I don't want a person who lies down like a little baby boy. I want someone who acts like a man, who talks like a man. To be honest with you, I don't even care if it's a lady. If it was a lady who acted like a man and talked like a man, that'd be all right with me. That's going to be the president who, I didn't vote, but I'm just saying that's who I'm going to want up in president. All right. So like I said, the left has nobody. They have nobody. They have nothing anymore. And I want to stress that point. All right. Think about that and dwell upon that. You might think, oh, okay, well, the tide's turning and we're going to start shooting for the stars. Well, that is the case in a sense. But at the same time, you have to know, if you ever seen like a raccoon or a wild animal with their back up against the wall, the left has their back up against the wall right now. All right. How does that sort of animal act? that sort of animal with their back up against the wall who has nothing left will therefore do anything, will pull out all of the stops. You understand? I don't know if you see where I'm getting at with this, but that animal with their back up against the wall with justice pounding down on a Hillary Clinton, on Barry Obamas, on all sort of people with justice nipping at their heels. It's an animal with their back against the wall. There's all sort of people who handle and control the left who cannot afford what's taking place right now. They can't afford it. All right? And they will stop at nothing. All the terrible things that we could talk about that have taken place in order to make sure that we don't have freedom of speech, that we can't be allowed to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they haven't reached all across this nation and stuff. They haven't got their laws in place yet. In fact, it's too late for them, right? So what are they going to do? My friends, what they're going to do is what they've already been doing, except they're going to turn it up a number of notches. What you're about to see, and actually Alex Jones touched on this a little bit earlier today, and I'm being dead serious with you, what you're about to see and what you have to be on notice for. Know that you're about to see it. It's all sort of calamity. You're going to see people die. All right, you're going to see a lot of people die. You're going to see mass shootings of epic proportions happen. None of these shootings are going to have motivation. You're not going to see any evidence of who done it. Nothing's going to be given to you. It's going to be a lot of people dying. More likely children. More likely. You're going to see bombs, perhaps. More likely. I'm talking about an animal with their back up against the wall. You're going to see bombs being exploded. And then what you're going to hear and see after that, when bombs being exploded, when little children are being killed in epic numbers here in this nation, or perhaps abroad in European nations, right after that takes place, it's going to be a bombing. It's going to be a extremely huge mass shooting. We've been seeing record type of what in consideration of quantity, like in regards to Las Vegas. I mean, that was an extreme number of people getting shot up. You're going to see more of that. You're going to see greater numbers. And the very second that it happens, you're going to see people on the left saying, you see, y'all can't be trusted. Y'all can't be trusted with any guns. We need to take all your guns. All right, we need to go into extra special martial law lockdown mode, and everybody can't be trusted and stuff. We can't have this anymore. We need to lock everybody up. See that bomb happen? Oh man, I think that bomb happened because Donald Trump was colluding with Russia and stuff, and he got us into some hot water. We need to take him out. Something like that. And it is going to be absurd. All right. And to be quite honest, if I had to play it out logistically, I think the left will honestly be sealing their own fate at that point. All right. The thing is, they don't have a choice. You know what I mean? It doesn't bring me no joy to say that, by the way. I mean, literally, all sort of people are going to get killed. And I wish that they wouldn't. And you're going to see figureheads in the movement mysteriously get suicided and things of this nature. All the things that you've been saying, you're going to see them more. I'm talking before the year's out. All right, because the left cannot afford it. You understand? They're losing power and more power as the days go by. Right? You might understand that there is a midterm election taking place this year. The left is going to lose it in basically all sort of spots. They're going to lose all sort of spots in landslide victories. They can't afford this. They can't afford it. They're going to pull out all the stops. They're going to go for broke, and they're probably going to break themselves, certainly, but they're going to kill an unbelievable amount of people in the meantime. Like I said, it could go one of two ways. I mean, maybe they could cause enough chaos to where that they could make something happen out of the chaos. I doubt it. I doubt it, because their hand that they have right now, it ain't looking good. They've already messed up. They've already let too many cats out of the bag. You know what I'm saying? It ain't looking good for them. That's what I'm trying to say, is that they have to resort to something, that they have to resort to what we haven't seen before yet. Right? They're definitely going to be shooting for World War III. For sure. They need World War III to happen. And before we get out of here, I feel like we're going to get out of here maybe 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Shout out to both people watching. I don't know if Angela's still watching, but it's not present. Shout out to both y'all. I do want to make mention before we get out of here, in reference to all this and regarding to what we're talking about, World War III and things like that. Dev. Hey, what's up, Dev? We're about to conclude. We've been talking here for about an hour and a half. Talking about all sort of things. We started off with all the wild stories concerning rape and Bill Cosby, Amy Schumer, and this and that. We're talking about all sort of stuff. But we got more into the fact is that the left is absolutely desperate. They have been played for some fools. They can't afford what's happening right now in regards to Kanye. In regards to people with dark skin absolutely blowing their narrative. They can't afford that. They can't afford that. There's going to be more and more. I see the groundswell. When you're talking about grassroots movement, I see it. It's overwhelming. They cannot afford what's coming down the pike. All right, so they will shoot for all sort of calamity. They will shoot for all sort of people getting killed. They will definitely shoot for World War III. All right, which kind of reminds me of the other day. The other day when bombs were going off in Syria. Now, a lot of people, especially like myself, we don't want to have nothing to do with Syria. Right? May there be bad things going on in Syria? Yeah, perhaps, but I'm sorry, bad things happen, dude. I'm sorry about it. You might say, oh, that's hypocritical. Maybe it is. But the thing is, we don't belong in Syria. But not only that, Syria is such a situation in which that could have very well easily led to World War III. It could have easily done it, right? If in fact Donald Trump was not in control of what he's doing, right? It's now weeks later. We haven't seen no bombs get dropped in America. We haven't seen no bombs get dropped in Russia. What does that tell you? Right? No, I don't know all the details. No, I don't have all the evidence. But what that implies to you is that, like him or not, Donald Trump is absolutely in control of what he's doing. He is. I mean, if he was not in control, we'd be all up in World War III. We'd really be very far into getting into the beginning of World War III right now. And it's not happening. Why not? Why is it not happening? It seems like Donald Trump knows what he's doing. All right, which seems to have been the case this whole entire time. It's like people on the left, they want to say, oh, he's the worst person in the world. Oh, he's Hitler. Not only that, he's completely mentally incapable and stuff like this. No, actually, the evidence shows that Donald Trump knows what he's doing and has known what he's doing since before I was born, dude. That's what the evidence shows. The evidence shows that, irregardless if you like him or not, that Donald Trump wins every time. That's what the evidence shows. Meanwhile, it's hard to make heads or tails of certain things sometimes. It's way above my pay grade and most of our pay grades. But all sort of things are happening now, dude. Like unthinkable things, right? Kim Jong-un and the president of South Korea were just shaking hands or something. or some sort of ambassador. I saw a picture of it. I was like, dude, what the world? The things that nobody thought would ever happen in our lifetimes is happening right now. All right, Donald Trump is in such crazy control that I've never seen someone in so much control. Right. Meanwhile, the bulk of Washington D.C., like I said, filled up with all sort of pedophiles, filled up with all sort of cult leaders. They hate his guts. All right, that's pretty much obvious. And yet, it's still Donald Trump's in control. I mean, I started talking about Donald Trump a long time ago. When this election was first starting to happen, and my first sentiment was, I don't know nothing about Donald Trump. Still, I don't believe. I don't know what to believe about Donald Trump, but I'm not taking it real serious. And then as time went on, all I did was say, Donald Trump better prove something to me because he hasn't proved nothing. Right? I'm the type of person that you really have to prove it. You really need to prove it. Right? If you really, you can talk all you want, but unless you're walking it out, it don't mean nothing to me. Right? And I'm extremely skeptical. It's like, dude, Donald Trump keeps proving it and proving it and proving it and proving it. And there's certain points, like I said with the Syria thing, and the Syria thing happened a year ago and stuff. It's like there's certain points where we don't know what the hell is going on. We don't know what to think. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump comes out on top, and it's the way that he says it. We're winning and winning and winning until we're getting sick of winning. That's what he does. All right, and nothing is definite. I know nothing on this world necessarily, but at the same time, dang, dude, how much proof do you need that Donald Trump is out there playing people like fools, playing them like fiddles all day, every day? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to say about it. We probably should be in war with Russia by now, but we're not. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Right? I mean, just to end up this video, I want to shout out to Deb, shout out to Angela. And Deb said he is the best at playing the game. Apparently, he is. And like I said, a lot of people have already known this about him. I was not so familiar with him until the election started happening. And if Donald Trump's not the best at playing the game, then I don't know who is. I have no idea who is. I don't know. I have no idea. Thing is, I'm here to tell you, do not trust me. All right? Don't ever trust me. Don't trust any human being necessarily. And a lot of people trip on it. I don't have 100% trust for any human being. That's why I put my trust in Jesus. The end. All right? My whole complete 100%. And it's hard to be 100% all day, every day, and stuff like this, because your faith gets tested. But I don't know who to put your faith in more than Jesus. I would suggest for anybody out there, don't put your faith in nobody more than Jesus. But at the same time, with that being the main sentiment, damn, dude, what else does Donald Trump have to do? What else does he have to do besides like put a pot of gold on your back porch? I don't know. I don't know what else he could possibly do, right? And those are the times we're living in. People hate his guts. Certain people hate his guts, and they're just making him more and more likable, more and more and more likable, right? The situation's getting very heated, and we're about to leave out and stuff. I don't know if there's anything else that y'all want to mention. It's getting late. Actually, over in Dev's region, what it's like 8, 9 o'clock over where she's at over there in Canada. But it's getting late over here and stuff. We've had quite a time. I've had a beer or so, and I'm starting to get sleepy. It's about 9:30 over there. Well, she's just starting to get into the evening. It's about 9:30 over there in her part of Canada. But I'm getting to where I'm winding down. I've had a pretty long week at my job, I'm not going to get into the particulars, but I just want y'all to know out there that I really, really do enjoy my job. And it's for the first time in life. You know, really, really do enjoy it. And I mentioned before, it's actually in manufacturing. And I've never worked in manufacturing. I didn't know how much that I would absolutely enjoy it, and I do enjoy it a lot. And that's just one of that's the breadbasket. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the key notes that Donald Trump was even talking about, bringing manufacturing back to America. Right? And as far as from where I'm sitting, he's absolutely delivering. Right? As far as energy jobs, from what I've seen in Big Spring, the deliverance, just delivery, all sort of deliveries, dude. And now I'm sitting here with a job that's paying real pretty good and stuff like that. At the end of the week, I'm kind of exhausted and stuff like that, but it is worth it. It is worth it. I just wanted to relay that. My schedule might be changing soon. Might go to the graveyard shift, in which I'll get paid a little bit more for doing that. I really don't mind doing that, stuff like that. I want to try and figure out what's a good day in order to make hopefully a weekly broadcast. Yeah, I'll get to bed soon enough, Dad. You're not my mom. Shoot. I'll get to bed soon enough. I'll probably drink another beer, while I'm by myself and stuff like that, wind down a little bit more. Don't you worry about when I go to bed, right? But I want to discuss, that I would like to make this semi-weekly, a weekly broadcast in which, we can discuss. I want y'all to be more part of it, and that, yeah, I can come off the dome. Yeah, I can talk for a couple hours, but at the same time, there's other topics that I want y'all to bring to my attention, because I trust y'all out there, man. I trust y'all to have the intellect to see certain things that I don't, all right, and to bring it up, and of course, bring it up in the comments. But at the same time, I am going to want certain people, as soon as I can get my technology in order, to come up on a split screen, maybe groups of people just discussing, right? I want to see something like that happen fairly soon. We're going to have to work out a time for that. Not only that, we want to work out a cool name. I don't have any idea for a name for it, all right? So if anybody has any ideas, any sort of ideas for it, not only that, we're going to see, and hopefully I'm not biting off more than I can chew, but we're going to see about on the other channel having a radio show, a weekly radio show in which we display, for those who are familiar with the other channels, a music channel in dedication to Caitlin Nicole Davis and her memory, and basically her message, right, which already has gone super viral. It just needs to go even more super viral. We're gonna have a radio show in which, we dedicate it to those voices who really aren't heard, who should be heard, and of course we can't cover it to the extent that I wanted to. As far as it's an unending ocean of people who you've never heard of. There's an unending ocean of people who I've never heard of, who are amazing, who are world class at what they do. And I'm not just saying that, literally world class at what they do. Who have 1 subscriber, who have 2 subscribers, 3 subscribers, who are unheard of. There's no way to cover them all. Or you need an army of people in order to cover them all. But we're going to cover handfuls of people on a weekly basis, hopefully starting soon. That might be in a week or 2. We'll have to buy a couple of things and get that up off the ground. All right, so this is what I'm aiming for. Lots of times I don't exactly achieve everything that I'm aiming for, but that's the essence of basically just trying. When you shoot for the stars, you're probably not going to reach the stars, but you will make a difference. This goes for everybody out there. I can't believe there's 4 people watching. Oh shoot, Philip. Oh man, this other Philip. All right, Philip just joined. I was actually going to bring this up. meant to bring it up earlier, but it's interesting that Philip popped in. Philip, we're almost done with this broadcast. It's almost 2 hours into it. We discussed a lot of things to include uh, rapes and things of that nature. We discussed Amy Schumer and her disgusting nature. And all sort of things. Donald Trump being in absolute complete control, it seems like. All sort of things. The cult that's known as the left. We discussed all sort of things. I don't know how long you've been here. But we were discussing, we were winding down what we're looking for in the future as far as development. The fact is, we might not achieve everything that we're talking about right now, but we will achieve something very significant, something that can last through the generations if we don't, in fact, all get bombed off the earth. Right? We're discussing, that there should be a show, hopefully weekly, where we discuss all sorts of social aspects, political, different factors that we've been seeing and stuff. And on the other channel, the music channel, it's just going to be not politics, not really going to be social at all. It's going to be about the music. It's going to be about listening to those voices who are unheard, listening to world-class music and just enjoying ourselves and stuff. And we'll see if we can pull that off. We'll see if we can pull that off. But I'm glad that Philip came in. So don't worry about being late. It's going to be recorded on. I know that this is kind of spur of the moment. It's gonna be all recorded. If you want to catch up on it later, hopefully it's gonna post up to YouTube. I'm glad that Philip got in because Philip is one of the people, especially, who I would like to get on the broadcast with me, whether it be a split screen, whether it be just like audio podcasts of people who can provide some. And I know a lot of people are shy to get on and share their ideas vocally and stuff like this. You could do so through the comments and stuff like this, or you can get on this channel. Really, honestly, it's not about myself necessarily. I mean, it's me doing it right now because there's no one else doing it. But it's more so. I want to stress that it's more so about the 4 people who are watching right now. Those are the people who are going to provide the most content at the end of the day when it's all said and done. And the people who watch, who are going to watch this later on, the recording of this. And I have a whole bunch of people, I'm not saying what you need to do, but you need to come up out of the woodwork. You need to let me know that you're listening. You need to let me know your opinion and stuff. We're not going to agree on everything. We're just not going to agree on everything. And that does not matter. If you come up on here and you believe in free speech, if you believe in America and all sort of other countries worldwide, just looking for more success, finding relief and more success and opportunity for everybody out there, then come on. All right, we don't have to agree on everything. That is not the point. The point is sharing. And the point is growing and building together, y'all. All right. If y'all have any last words, go ahead and throw them in real quick because, as Deb said, I do need to get to sleep. Pretty dang soon stuff. Also, I'll show y'all because you haven't been seeing her. There's a Bella. There's a Bella around here, and she feels very ignored and stuff. I've been ignoring her for about 2 hours, but that's all right because as adorable as she is, she's a boring dog, dude. I know everybody loves Bella, and so do I. The thing is, she's boring as hell. All she really likes is getting petted. She doesn't really, she won't fetch or anything like that. All she does is like being petted, and if you start petting her, she just won't let go. Look, she wants more pets. She needs more pets and stuff like that. So she'd interrupt the broadcast. That's why I've been ignoring her. All right. Anyways, y'all, it's late enough. All right, and I'll holler at y'all later. Be sure to drop me a line and stuff and email me, especially email me. Let me know. Gerard.4.America, all spelled correctly, at gmail.com. All right, I'll holler at y'all later. And I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.